Welcome to my full tutorial on the boss, Phaze. Many people have come to my channel during my live streams saying that they are having issues with their encounters with this behemoth. I'm here to put all those worries at rest and give you a full guide on how to beat this boss. Now, the most important thing is practice. I can't stress enough that you are not going to beat this boss if you give up and leave instantly. But I'm here to help you through it all using this general guide, so let's begin. Firstly, the crucial part about beating this boss is understanding that it is entirely camo. It also removes the ability of camo revealing, such as the Middle Path Village. This means that you are only allowed to use towers that have a camo upgrade, such as the Monkey Sense for the Wizard or Night Vision Goggles for the Sniper. You can also use towers that have base camo, such as Ninja. Secondly, it warps forwards after every single skull, meaning you must do a lot of damage fairly fast, depending on the map chosen. And the last thing, farming. If you can't farm correct, you simply do not have enough money to beat the game in any case, even for tier 1. Don't worry though, because I'll be here to show you how to do it perfectly. Those are the main things to understand into beating this boss. The rest is now gameplay with the right towers at the right time. So, let's begin. Every time a boss event is released, it has different rules and different maps, altering the difficulty. Every time a boss gets released, I will make a simple video on how to beat it for the week. This video is mainly for those who want to learn and get their heads around this boss. I will make one of these for every single boss, so after a bit of time, I will put a few links in the description of this video once it's made, in case you have any other queries about any of the boss. And if you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, you get told instantly when it comes out. So, for this week's Phaze as of recording this video, the only difference is that there is an 80% speed modifier on the boss, meaning it is 20% slower than usual, and that there is a slightly higher starting cash, and furthermore, there is no ninja, which is quite useful for this boss, but I will explain that later. Anyway, enough babbling, let's begin the game. Before you do anything, you should always keep auto start off, as it helps with long-term farming in the early game, as every dollar matters. If you are able to, start off with your free Dart Monkey, with the Monkey Knowledge Point upgrade, Bonus Monkey, at the bottom of the primary Monkey Knowledge Point upgrade tree. You should have most upgrades unlocked in the skill tree before even starting the elite boss, as it helps a lot. However, it is not necessary. For this exact boss, I had enough starting cash to be able to put down a banana farm of round 1. However, in most cases, this isn't possible. If it isn't, just keep the 000 Dart Monkey until you can afford it. Don't worry about losing lives, as we are going to get to marketplaces later on, which restore lives, if you have the monkey knowledge for it in the support category. However, once again, this isn't necessary. The main thing is, just don't be afraid to lose lives. It will all be worth it in the end. To farm correctly, the main focus is greeding your defense for money. Keeping your defense to the bare minimal allows you to farm more, meaning more money for the future and especially the first tier. This is where the practice comes in, as you understand what rounds are coming out and how your defense will react to it. The farms you want to spam are a bunch of 200 farms in the early game, as these, when spammed, give the most money for price, making it a perfect solution for early game farming. For this boss, I went with Sorda, as she has the ability to destroy early game balloons with ease, as she can see camo and pop lead with her ability, meaning any balloon before round 40 is easily defeated for such a small price. Depending on the map, this may change, so use a hero that can work well, or check out the most recent boss video on this channel, in which I will state why and how it is the best strategy. Now, I know it can be annoying to sit and wait for the random balloons to go on by, but have a bit of patience, as purchasing any other tower as of now will deeply darken your chances of winning, as you're technically wasting money. For this game here, after I upgraded my banana farm to a 200 variant, I then decided to save up for Sorda, as she will remove any of the chances of balloons getting by. However, this isn't necessary, as you can go into ultra greed mode and risk most lives for money, but that's your call. At the end of round 6 here, the end of round bonus cash allowed me to buy Sorda, so I put her in the most efficient spot for her damage. Basically meaning I'm using as much of her range as possible to allow her to deal more damage in a given time. This should be the case for most heroes or any tower you put down, but you already know that. After Sorda is placed down, my main focus is farming. Whenever you are able to, place 200 farms, preferably in the range of a future village, around in a circle, as the village is able to give discounts, allowing you to save a lot of money when upgrading these farms to marketplaces later on. Another great early game money making tower is the Engineer, as the bottom path allows you to have a balloon trap. Balloon traps take in balloons, and when it's full it releases the balloons in the form of extra money. This is great for the rounds 30 to 40 as you are getting extra cash per pop, as well as it just straight up deleting the balloons. Sorter begins to fall off here as well and lets some leak, so getting it now is a solid option. To make it even better, buy a quick monkey farmer from the powers list. This collects balloon traps for you when they are filled. Once you have balloon trap, make sure to cross path it with the middle path upgrades, as this allows you to retarget the balloon trap to be at the edge of the engineer's range, making all non-camo balloons enter it without being popped elsewise. The second upgrade on the middle path allows the balloon trap to take in more balloons at once, especially if they are fortified. This reduces downtime for when the balloon trap isn't there and you're not making as much money, so make sure you buy it. After this, buy 200 farms until there are about 5 or 6, as this is the peak number before you are wasting money from buying too many of them instead of upgrading. As you can see here, due to downtime on the balloon trap, a couple of leads got by. However, don't worry if you're using Sorter, as her ability, Sword Leap, can pop lead balloons, so use it if necessary. When you are able to, place down the village in the centre of the farms and hope that you place them all correctly. The more farms inside, the better. However, it won't kill you if they are all not in, so don't worry. After that, upgrade it to a 102 to get the discount. The first upgrade on the top path allows it to see every farm, if placed correctly. Once you are done, upgrade all the farms to marketplaces as fast as you can. Every second you didn't upgrade the farms counts towards money lost, so upgrade the second you have enough. Keep doing this until round 35, as the last 5 rounds you need to save up money to beat the first tier. I typically like to aim for at least 5 marketplaces, and on this exact run I didn't quite get enough for the 5th, so if this happens to you, upgrade one of the 200 farms into a banana salvage 202 farm as the sellback price is increased, therefore less money lost from selling. With the money, upgrade the other farm to a marketplace and this should be more than enough for the first tier. However, you can survive with just 4, so don't worry. After all of this, now you are ready for tier 1. The best strategy I've found is the elite defender with the sticky bomb ninja. For this exact boss, you are not allowed ninjas, as previously discussed. You can do it without it, just keep the elite defender on strong and a random bloom will get by. This makes you lose a life, and as the elite defender gets a crazy attack speed bonus when the life is lost, this makes the damage output of the sniper extremely high, but I tried to avoid it here until the end, which is why the boss got quite far. Otherwise, throw down a sticky bomb ninja in a suitable place and save up during the rounds in which the boss is out to buy the elite defender. The boss takes a long while to reach the end, so don't worry about it moving. Another thing to note is that while the boss is happening, make sure to place down more marketplaces within a discount village. This allows you to keep up the farming even though the boss is out. If you are not farming, you are not making any increasing money. So, make sure to keep on placing farms during the boss and all shall go well in the future. Yay! You defeated tier 1 in the most efficient way! Congrats! After the round ends, make sure to buy a favoured trades that is within the range of the sniper for extra sellback price. I didn't do it here because I forgot. However, it is very useful if you're going to spend the money made from selling the elite defender into more farms. Don't spend too much money because you're going to need some defence for the coming rounds. Once you've placed all your farms, you now need to think about your future defence, and what I mean by this is, what paragons are you getting? However, for me, instead of placing more towers to defend, I decided to place an alchemist buff and a village with camo, because I wanted to greed a little bit harder. I didn't think this was going to work, however, to my surprise, Sorter, with a simple buff, carried all the way to tier 2, and then this happened. I placed so many more marketplaces. This is more proof that Sorter is OP, however, I'm not complaining. Just always remember that if you keep your defense to a minimal, you have so much more money to work with to beat each tier. So for tier 2 here, like for nearly all bosses, you must always go for a MAD Dartling Gunner. Its insane damage wrecks any tier 2 boss. If you farm correctly, you can afford it easily. If not, don't worry, because just start off the round and wait a little bit longer. It does more than enough damage to destroy it way before the end. Once you get it, make sure to put it somewhere in the middle of the map, preferably a bit towards the end. However, I will show here that it is not necessary. It just helps with the ability it has, allowing more missiles to hit it while it's active. One extra thing to note is that when you get a bit of money, place the tower of your choosing towards the end, to help deal with the balloons that come from the portal that Phaze creates after teleporting. An extra thing to help defend and make money is an overclock engineer. This increases the attack speed of towers when the ability is used. Doing this greatly increases your attack speed of whatever tower you use it on. Here, I use it on the MAD to make it shoot more. This isn't necessary, but it helps with defeating the boss faster to carry on farming when it is over. On this exact run, I forgot to add a damage tower towards the back, so I decided to start making my way towards a paragon, the ace paragon to be exact, and place down an ace and upgrade it to Spectre. If needed, sell a couple of farms for defense if needed. After this, we'll be removing all of these marketplaces for better farms after this ends. As you can see here, I exited back to home and reloaded back in to send the balloons back a bit, so I had more time to react to the issue. Always do this if you think you are going to die to some leaks. Sadly, in my case, there wasn't enough time to react. However, I used Sword's sword charge ability to delete all the balloons on the track. Now I had enough time to purchase a Spectre to deal with it all. For the Spectre, I bought a middle path cross path so it would have cannon detection, so this could do damage to the boss as well. And with this, tier 2 was easily defeated. Once the round ends, make sure to buy a favoured trades if you are able to increase the sellback once again. Sell the MAD and sell all of the farms. For this game here, I decided to keep one of the marketplaces around the village. Here I upgraded the village into a Monkeyopolis. This takes in the farm and makes its range much bigger to be used for better farming. Once you do this, you should buy a 520 banana farm within the range of the Monkeyopolis. This is also known as a banana central. The one farm alone is much better than all of those marketplaces combined, so don't be afraid to. Make sure to overclock the farm as it produces about 2 times more during the activation. For this map, I was going to go for a low tier boat paragon as a support paragon to the ace, as it gives a nice buff. So on that note, I placed down as many boats as I could, which actually only ended up being about 4 of them. This is okay though, as this isn't our main paragon for damage. I didn't need too much money spent on the towers just yet, so back to farming for now. From here, just keep on placing as many 420 farms as possible until about 5 rounds from the start of tier 3. One thing to keep note of is always overclock the banana central whenever the ability wears off. This greatly increases money made by a long shot. Now that we are at tier 3, you should ideally get a low level cheap paragon, as you should have saved up enough money for it by now. If not, don't worry. Just make sure that when you start, save up for a little bit and then buy it when necessary. It easily defeats tier 3 with no issue, however here I will show that it isn't necessary, but it will be close. For me, I upgraded the Spectre and rebought the MAD, upgraded all of the boats, and it was just about enough to beat this. However, once again I strongly recommend letting it come in a little bit and saving up enough money to defeat it with a paragon. Make sure it's near a favoured trade so you can sell it for more. As you will soon see, the boss got very far towards the end of the track, even with some of the best towers in the game. This is why I recommended the paragon to destroy it with ease, as here I'm heavily relying on abilities for it to be defeated. Nice! Tier 3 is now defeated. From here, the rest of the game should be much easier now, as in my opinion, Tier 3 is the hardest part of the boss to defeat. On this run here, because I didn't use a paragon, it was only a few rounds until the next tier comes out. However, this is okay because we didn't sell any of our previous farms, so we had more than enough money to deal with the next tier. However, because I'm so greedy, I placed down more farms so we could be financially free later on. However, this is not necessary. I bought a few more overclocks to help the farms produce much more money. By tier 4, I didn't actually have enough money for the boat paragon, so what did I do? I sent in the boss and continued to overclock a lot of farms, as this gave me enough money to buy the boat paragon mid-round, which will suffice in damage, therefore I greeded correctly. After I bought it, I continued to overclock as many farms as possible. Doing this let me save up for an extra dark paragon towards the back. This was able to defeat tier 4 with relative ease. With 4 tiers down, only 1 was left, and it was time to go all out. I continued to overclock. I kept the Dark Paragon, and let the Aces try do as much damage as possible, as this was the tower I was going to make into an almighty Ace Paragon prior to tier 5. Buying Gluestorm and Cup and Mob are great damage modifiers to bosses, so if you are ever struggling, make sure to purchase these for tier 2 and above. Call to Arms or Homeland Defense is also a great idea to help with attack speed. Get these if necessary. Continue to farm as much as possible all the way to tier 5, as this was the final straw. Once you reach tier 5, it is time. Sell every single farm and farm related towers, and now is the time to strike. I have managed to have way over $1.5 million by this point, which is more than enough to beat this boss. Don't worry if you have nowhere near as much as this, I greeded pretty heavily throughout the entire boss encounter. With practice, you will get better and better, and in the end it just becomes a game of how well can I farm? And before you know it, bosses are just another simple game to complete. For my game, I bought a whole load of aces to upgrade the Ace Paragon to a decent enough level. This was our main damaging tower, so make sure to place enough upgrades and use every last bit of power coming out of the tower. Once you're ready, place as many towers as you can to deal damage. This will certify victory. Once you are sure, press start and make sure to use all the abilities during the boss and it will be defeated super duper fast. Please enjoy this gameplay of me defeating it. And just like that, you and I have easily defeated Tier 5 Elite Phaze. I hope all this worked out for you like it did for me. I have spent over 12 hours making this tutorial for you, and I hope it was all worth it. If you have any questions or any concerns, please let me know in the comment section below the video, and I'll respond within 24 hours to help you out. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you can hear this, you are truly awesome, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And please, make sure to subscribe and like the video, as I will make one of these for every single boss that ever existed. So, I hope you will take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your day, and of course, happy popping. Bye!